Hello viewers, today we will be cleaning and servicing and hopefully improving the performance of this Lasko fan. This is labeled as model 2022/2027. I don't know which one it actually is. But the performance of this is extremely lackluster. So much so that I think there's something wrong with it. So it looks like the guard just kind of comes off by moving these clips around the edge. Alright, that was nice. That came off very easily. And I think the badge comes off too, but I don't really see any reason to remove that. So there's some dust in there, but not enough to really reduce the performance. Here's the blade, and some hair in there. As I said in the initial checkout video, it's not bad. I mean, the pitch is pretty deep, and it's not super flimsy. I mean, it's flimsy, but not outrageously flimsy. There's certainly worse blades than this out there. You know, I would think this would work relatively well. And let's see here. Oh, this looks. This design reminds me very much of the ones from the 2000s. The Lasko 12-inch fans, although it's getting stuck up there, which I don't think that would have happened in the 2000s, but it happens now because nobody likes to make anything correctly anymore. Okay, let's get this off of here. Oh wow, that's a machine thread screw, not a self-tapping. That's a pleasant surprise. That's a pretty good sized motor for a 12-inch blade. That's not bad at all, and that's why I'm very surprised that this is not moving more air. The capacitor's got to be spoiled. Yeah, that motor should not have a problem with this blade. That is a 2 microfarads capacitor. It's not a lot of capacitance. I'll see if I have a 2 microfarads anymore. I don't think so, but I'll check. If not, I will have to get one. Yeah, that's definitely going to remove the screw. Good grief. Okay, so we gotta find 2 microfarads at 250 volts. Let's see what I have in stock here. Capacitors, where are you? Wheels? Why is that in there? I don't know where else to put it. It's gonna stay in there. There may be a capacitor here. And this is a Lasko product as well, so this may have the capacitor that I want. And I know this capacitor was good. At least it was when this thing was taken out of service. The screwdriver is still working good ever since I changed out the battery. Okay, let's see here. There is a capacitor in here. Although, I think it's going to be a 3.5. Daggone it. 3.5 microfarads, or microfarads it is. Is it micro? Yeah, it's microfarads. Okay, well, keep searching. There's a capacitor down there, and I think that one may actually be at 2 microfarads. There's a capacitor right there, but it's only a microfarad. That's not going to work. I'm going to see if I can fish out that other capacitor. And it's a 4 microfarads. I can't find it. I really thought I had one because I was going to put it... I needed a 2 microfarads to put into that 12-inch plastic liquid oscillator. 1200DX, I think it was. And I thought I had one. Another capacitor somewhere, but I can't find it. So I'll just have to buy some. I'll get 2. I'll get one for this fan and then one for the other fan. We'll see if that makes it any better. On second thought, before I replace the capacitor, let's check the power draw. Because if it's drawn at or around 0.35 amps, then it's doing what it's supposed to do. And it's just a junky fan, I guess. Well, I shouldn't say it's a junky fan. It would certainly have its applications. In fact, that nice low would be wonderful for the bedroom. I just find it hard to believe that it's supposed to be that way. So let's see what we have here. Zero amps. You know, nothing around here works. Okay. So, that's interesting. It's exactly on key. 35 100ths of an amp. So, my capacitor replacement would have been in vain because there's nothing wrong with the capacitor. It's running exactly as it should. That's outrageous, but I actually kind of like that because I think that low speed is perfect for the bedroom at night. So, this is why you should always thoroughly investigate the problem before you just start throwing parts at stuff. Okay. So with that newly discovered information, we're going to go ahead and go through with the cleaning and servicing because there's nothing wrong with the fan. It's got an inspection sticker on there, which fortunately is going to come off very easily, and it also has some kind of writing on there, which we'll see if we can get that off because it's very unsightly. It's got a name on the side there, and this looks like it might have been used in the workplace. Okay, so the shaft has got some like Loctite or something on that. Some hair on there. I do want to clean the bearings out because it does seem kind of a little bit stiff. So we're going to begin by tapping out this thing. Which was Loctited in place for some reason. Let's see if I can pull it the rest of the way out. Okay. And that screws over there, that screw there. Now I'm going to plug it back up. We're going to have to sand this down quite a bit in order to get that, whatever that is, off of the shaft. I need the thicker sandpaper, not thicker, coarser sandpaper. It's a nice green shaft. I'd hate to scrape all that green off, but it's going to have to come off. Okay. Get the hair off of there. And let's see if we can get this to come apart. It's held together by screws. I gotta give it that much. Half the motors today are crimped together and then they're nearly impossible to get open. They're relatively nice screws too. Looks like it's already ready to come apart. It's not going to give any trouble at all. Okay, so I gotta get the oscillation off first. Actually, no. That should be just this screw I gotta take off. Okay, now it should come off. Okay. That's a hilariously small stator with like no copper in it. It's already pretty hot too, jeez. Okay, we got a thrust washer in the back we'll keep note of. Actually, it looks like there's a decent amount of lubrication in there still. But anyways, so that's off now. And if this goes well, it should slide right off. Don't get any of the shavings off of there. There we go, that was nice. Yeah, decent amount of lubrication still on the oscillation gear. Focus, this is what I want to show. I want to show this to the viewing audience. Hello, camera. There we go. Okay, so that looks all good. There's a rubber gasket on there, I guess to keep the dust out probably. No, wait, that's on the inside. I don't know what that's for. And there's a thrust washer in here as well. I'm going to pull that all out of there. And let's put that back on the shaft so we don't lose it. And there is loop. Oh, here we go again. And there is lubrication on here still. Quite a bit. Alright, slip that on there. And there's one on the rear bearing as well. Grab that off of there. Slip this onto the shaft. Lubrication on that one as well. Okay. So now the motor, what we can do is we can take this off of here. And now we can just brush the dust off of there. It's not too dusty, but I get that off so it can breathe. A little bit of dust in here, we'll get that out. this back. It's kind of weird. The capacitor just like floats through the side here of the motor. This little cutout on the side. The gauge of these windings is so thin, it's ridiculous. It's like, ugh. I have to say, this is very serviceable. The design of this is extremely serviceable. And I have to give it a fair bit of respect for that, because a lot of stuff is not serviceable anymore. Okay, I don't see any reason to take the back off the motor. Actually I do, to clean the bearing. Let's get this dust off of here. Probably should do this into the vacuum, but oh well. We should be taking extra precautions because the coronavirus is going around. Alright, let's see here. That screw I took off. Oh, those are tight. Okay. That was extremely tight. There's a lot of grease on the outside of the bearing, and there's still some inside there, but I don't like that there's that. What's that? Screw. At least it didn't disappear like half the screws that fall in this place. I don't like that all that grease is there, because that shouldn't be in the bearing. If that gets in the bearing, it's just gonna gum up and slow things down. Alright, I'll service the motor afterwards. I want to see if I can take this apart and start getting the plastic parts cleaned. Looks like this will thread off of here. And maybe does this unscrew from here? No, it just comes off. I think it's going to present more trouble than it's worth to take this off. It's dirty, but I'll just clean that part by hand. Okay, I got the glue gun cranking up because we had a fatality with the hose. But other than that, everything is cleaned. Oh no, everything is not cleaned. I gotta clean this still. Okay, now it's clean. And I gotta plug in the camera because the battery is running out. Okay, now it's plugged up. Let's see here. We can clean the bearings now. Still using the same ticker towels because the coronavirus has made people gone crazy, and the buying of toilet paper and ticker towels, like, it fixes the virus, but it doesn't even protect you from the virus. So anyways, the point is, ticker towels and toilet paper have become a commodity in this part of the world. I think it's like that in a lot of other places as well, and that is absolutely ridiculous. So, needless to say, I'll be using the same ticker towels for a while, because I can't get any new ones. I need to clean it from this side, because otherwise that grease is going to go in there. Oh, that's right, this comes out pretty easily. Just remove it. I keep forgetting to zoom in. I gotta remember to zoom in. Okay, that's pretty good. This motor is very deceiving. It's physically a large size, but the stator is outrageous. Okay. Now it's time for the oil segment. Two types of oil we can use. We have the infamous 3-in-1 in the blue can, which is specifically for fans. It says it right on the container. Also for lawn mowers and shop tools, not power tools, shop tools. And what else is it for? Power saws. But in this case we're using it for fans. The other oil in the red can is not for fans. It's for those crazy two-wheel contraptions, blades, some kind of a boot, and mechanical tools, not power tools or shop tools. So we can use this oil for fans, or we can use this oil for electric motors. Since this oil, I'm running out of it, and the stores are going crazy and you can't buy anything anymore because of the coronavirus, I'm going to use this oil. So I'm going to put some oil on the shaft. And I'm going to put this back into place. That's spinning pretty nicely. And we're going to put some oil on the front. And I'm going to go along the whole thing more sparsely towards the top, because the bearing does have to slide over the entire surface in order to get into where it needs to go. Okay, I guess at this point I probably should have put the stand back on. That would have made it a little bit easier. But such is not the case. Okay, and that slid nicely in there with ease. Oh, that's not right. Let's try again. Pretty sure the word glory was right side up. I think it's going to go like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we're going to go with that. Nope, that doesn't make any sense because the oscillation contraption is now not where it's supposed to be. I'm going to go with this because that would make the oscillator in the right positioning, and there's a reasonable amount of slack on the cord. Okay, now we can put the mortar screws back in. These do not have to be particularly tight. Okay, it's actually already spinning pretty freely, but we're going to align it by striking the shaft a few times. Now it's really getting into a low friction situation. I'm going to add some more oil to the front bearing before we close it back up. And I'll wipe off any excess. You don't want excess there, will just collect dust. And I'm going to add some more into the rear bearing as well. I'm not going to worry about the excess in the back because it'll just go into the box here. And these screws are outrageously tight when I removed it, and we're not going to put them back that way. Okay, that's not threading. That was better. Okay, that's good enough for that. And the oscillation thing. Okay, that's the motor assembly. No, the capacitor has to go back on too. Where did the capacitor go? Is it like this? No, it couldn't have been like that. It doesn't fit that way. It goes here. Okay, that's the motor assembly all complete. Spinning very, very nicely. And we just got to put this back in, but I'll wait till I get the stand on, because it'll be much easier to tap that back into place once the stand is on. Put this away, because we're done with that. Ooh. I was able to get all that writing off using Go, or whatever that stuff is called. Very, very powerful. But even it struggled a bit. Something ain't quite right about this. Because before... yeah, that's definitely not right. What the heck? I guess it just so happened to be that this screw could go on in either orientation. It should be like this. Okay. I thought that went together a little bit easier than it came off. That is why it was in the wrong direction. That's not threading correctly. The angle is very difficult to work with. I'm going to have to turn it on and oscillate it into a position where I can reach it. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Make sure it still oscillates. Seems to be doing so just fine. Nice. Okay. Now we can continue. And that's on backwards as well. It's a backwards evening today. it's going to go on like that. Okay, and that concludes the cleaning and servicing. That tilts back very far. Okay, so let's give it a final test run here and see how it works. Start off with low. Okay, it's running considerably faster than it was before, and moving substantially more air. I guess it did just need to be serviced. Ow, I just hurt my arm. Not really sure how. Jeez, that's not good. Yeah, I better go to sleep today. There's too many things happening today. Much better. Still a nice, very quiet, slow speed, but it's actually moving air. 2. And 3. Oh wow, that's actually got a decent amount of power to it now. Yeah, it's still not like crazy powerful, but no, it's at least into the average category. Okay, that's working satisfactorily now. I don't like how much of a shaking that. I don't know, maybe we can balance it a little bit. It doesn't really, oh yeah, no, it does kind of feel out of balance. Yeah, let's try to balance it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a small piece of wire. This one will suffice. Nope, there's nothing in that one. Okay. Here we go. I need a little piece of this. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take the guard off. Oh no, dangerous. And then we're going to remove the blade. I'm going to put this little piece of wire in one of these things here. And let's see if the balance is any different. And it fell out. That wasn't very useful. Needs to stay in there for this to be useful. Okay, let's see here. Wow, that was a good guess. That seems to have made it better. So what I will do is, let's take a look here. So, since that made it a little better, I suspect this blade is a little bit lighter than the others. But I'm going to move this around to a few different areas and see if I can get it to be better. That's definitely worse. So let's go try this area here. Oh, that's worse as well. So it looks like I may have actually gotten it first time. And this is our heavy, or our light spot here. Maybe not, that doesn't feel any better. I thought it was better. That's better. Okay. I'm getting tired here. Let's try this blade. I think I figured it out though. Yeah, it's shaking again. Okay, so then that confirms it. This blade here is the one that needs the extra weight. Let's check it one last time. See, it doesn't shake nearly as much with that there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some hot glue and put some hot glue in there. Still shaking a little bit, although it does seem to have improved. So I want to try adding a little bit more and see if it needs more weight. The hot glue is pretty heavy. It usually doesn't take much to fix it. That may have been too much. Yeah, I think I went too... Yeah, that was too much. Okay. No problem. No problem. We'll just take some of it out. The blade is a little bit wobbly without this on. Let's see if I can... There we go. That's definitely better. Well, that's the basic concept of what we're going to do. I'm going to sit here and play a little bit more off camera. Okay, so I got it pretty good. You can see it's not really shaking at all anymore on any of the speeds. It's pretty balanced now. so that's good. And that's that. That's the complete servicing of this fan. Really incredible to see what a difference a little bit of servicing can make. Because this really was almost worthless when it came into the shop. And now it moves a decent amount of air.